Good morning, everyone. Let us start this session. During the last lecture, we have discussed about the motion transmissibility and the force transmissibility. So, in this lecture, we will solve some problems on the motion and force transmissibility. So, this is the first problem. So, here, a machine of 90 kg has 20 kg rotor with 0.5 millimeter eccentricity. The mounting spring have stiffness 85,000 Newton meter and the damping ratio is 0.02. The operating speed of the machine is 600 RPM and the unit is constrained to move only in the vertical direction. So find the dynamic amplitude of the machine and the force transmitted. So this force transmitted is nothing but the FTR and this dynamic amplitude. So this is nothing but the capital A. Okay. So this problem is the combination of rotating unbalance and the force transmissibility. Okay. So we have to use both equations. So I will write this equation. One for rotating unbalance and second equation, this is for the motion or force transmissibility. So for the rotating unbalance, we have the equation A upon m0e upon m. This is equal to r square upon square root 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay, where r is the frequency ratio, that is external frequency upon the natural frequency of the machine, omega upon omega. And for the force transmissibility, we have the equation FTR upon F0. So this is the force transmitted and this is the exciting force. This is equal to the square root 1 plus 2 zeta r square upon the square root 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay. So first we will try to find out the amplitude of the machine. That is the dynamic amplitude. This is the first question. Okay. So what is given in the problem? So machine total mass is 90 kg. So this is the M. This is total mass of the machine. So this is 90 kg. So that machine, it has one rotor of 20 kg. Okay, with 0.5 millimeter eccentricity. So what is meaning of this rotor? So we can imagine the electric motor. Okay. So for the electric motor, so consider this is the stator part or the casing of that motor. Okay. And that motor, it has the rotor part. Okay. So this is the rotor part. So this rotor, which is actually rotating, it is having the mass 20 kg. Okay. So if I just draw this side view, observed from this direction, so I will draw it here. So this is the casing or the stator, and this is the rotor. Okay. So during the assembly, if this rotor, it is not properly assembled, and if the center of gravity is slightly shifted from the geometrical center, that is from this point, okay, then it will have some eccentricity. So this eccentricity is given, that is a 0.5 millimeter. Okay. So this very small distance with respect to this actual geometrical center. Okay. So this is 0.5 millimeter. So what is effect of this eccentricity? As the center of gravity of that rotor is shifted from the geometrical center, so it will create the unbalanced centrifugal force. Okay. So this center of gravity, it is for this complete rotor. So we will assume the total mass of this rotor is concentrated at the center of gravity. So that mass is 20 kg. So this is the unbalanced eccentric mass, that is m0. So this is 20 kg. And the eccentricity E, that is equal to 0.5 millimeter. So this is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. Okay. Then the stiffness is given on which this complete assembly is mounted. So suppose it is mounted on the arrangement which is a spring and damper. This is just an schematic. So this stiffness is given as 85,000 Newton per meter, and the damping ratio, that is equal to 0.02. So zeta value is given. This is 0.02. Okay. And the operating speed. So this speed of this rotor. So this is given as 600 RPM. Okay. And the unit is constrained to move vertically. That means there are only vertical vibrations. Okay. So this is the direction for the motion. So now the question is, what is the dynamic amplitude? That means we have to find out the value of the capital A. So we will use this equation, that is for the rotating unbalance. So if you refer this equation, what is given? M0 is given, E is given, total mass is given, okay? Zeta is given, R is not directly given. That means we have to find out first the frequency ratio. So the frequency ratio R, this is equal to omega upon omega n. Okay. So omega n means it is a natural frequency. So that is equal to square root k upon m. So whenever you find out the natural frequency, we have to consider the total mass. Okay. So total mass is 90 kg. So a machine of 90 kg. Okay. So this 90 kg, it includes this 20 kg. Okay. So we will take this mass is 90 kg. Okay. The mounting spring have stiffness 85,000. Okay. That means this complete machine is supported on this elastic member having the stiffness 85,000. So from this, calculate the value of natural frequency omega n. So this is equal to 62.83 Newton, radian per second. Okay. So we have calculated the omega n value. Now we have to find out the omega value. Omega means external frequency, okay, or the angular speed of this rotor. So the RPM is given, that is a 600. So convert this RPM in terms of omega, that is the external frequency. So omega, this is equal to 2 pi n upon 60. So n is 600. So omega value is, this natural frequency, this value, it is 30.73. And the omega value is 62.83. Okay. So from omega n, calculate this ratio. So we will get the R frequency ratio. So this is equal to 2.04. Okay. And now put this value in this equation. So R is equal to 2.04, zeta is equal to 0.02, M0 is 20 kg, total M is 90 kg, and eccentricity is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter. Okay. So we have the equation A upon M0E upon M. This is equal to R square upon the square root 1 minus R square 2 zeta R square. Okay. So M0 value, this is 20, and 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 upon 90. This is equal to R is 2.04. This is 1 minus 2.04. This is square and complete bracket square plus 2 into 0.02 into 2.04 and this bracket square. Okay. Now solve this complete equation and get the value of capital A, that is the amplitude. So the amplitude here 1.46 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Okay. So you can check this answer. So this is equal to 1.46 millimeter. Okay. So this is the answer for the first part, that is a dynamic amplitude. Now refer the second part. We have to find out the force transmitted. Okay. So that means if this motor so this is mounted on some isolator and this is the foundation or the base. Okay. So as this motor is vibrating with the amplitude, okay, that we have just found out, then some force will be transmitted through this spring and damper. Okay. So we have to find out the force transmitted, that is a FTR. So for that, we will use the force transmissibility. So we have the equation FTR upon F0, that is equal to the square root 1 plus 2 zeta R square upon the square root 1 minus R square plus 2 zeta R square. Okay. So on the right hand side, all the values are known. R is known and zeta is known. Okay. So what is the value of F0? It is not given directly in your problem. Okay. So F0 means what? As the rotor is rotating at the RPM 600. Okay. So at this RPM, how much is the force developed by that rotor? That force is nothing but the F0 value. So in the rotating unbalance, we have studied the force is created because of the eccentricity, that is called as the centrifugal force. So this centrifugal force Fc is nothing but the F0. So F0 we can calculate M0, that is eccentric mass, into eccentricity into omega square. So M0 E omega square, this is called as the external force which is created by the rotor. So M0, this is 20 kg, eccentricity is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter, and omega value is 62.83. Okay. So from this, calculate the value for F0. So this is 39.47 Newton. Okay, just take this answer and put this value in this equation. Remaining all the values are same. And then calculate the FTR. That is a force transmitted. This is a force transmitted to the foundation. So this force transmitted, this is equal to 12.53 Newton. Okay. So you can observe here what is the use of such isolators. So basically isolators, they are used to reduce the magnitude of the force transmitted to the foundation. Okay. So that we can avoid the possible damage to the foundation. So here the impressed force or the external force, this value is 39.47 Newton. Okay. That means the force created by this machine. Out of this force, only 12.53 Newton is transmitted to the foundation. Okay. That means maximum force is absorbed by this foundation, by this isolator. Okay. So this is the use of using the isolator for the vibrating machines. So I hope you have understood this complete problem. Okay. Now refer the next problem. So this is also on the transmissibility. So what is given in this problem? An aircraft radio, weight is 118 Newton, is to be isolated from the engine vibration ranging from 1600 to 2200 RPM. What static deflection the isolators must have for 85% of isolation? Okay. So weight of the radio, so this is equal to 118 Newton. Then operating range or the operating speed, the lowest speed is 1600 RPM. So from this we will find out the omega 1. Then highest speed for the engine is 2200 RPM. So we will calculate the value of omega 2, that is external frequency at highest speed, external frequency at the lowest speed. Then there is a 85% of isolation. Isolation is equal to 85%. That is nothing but 0.85. So in the derivation, we have just seen the transmissibility. Okay. So what is the concept of isolation? So we'll take just an example. If this is one vibrating machine, you can imagine this is a pump or a compressor. Okay. And it is continuously vibrating and it creates some force. So let us take this force which is created by this machine as 100 or 100 Newton. Okay. So we want to mount this machine, that is a compressor or a pump, on the foundation. Okay. But for that we will use some isolator. Isolator are just nothing but the shock absorber. Okay. So this is the elasticity and this is the diameter. So because of this isolator, which is connected between the foundation and the machine, the force is absorbed. Okay. So out of this 100 Newton, only suppose transmitted force, this is equal to 20 Newton. Okay. So how much force is absorbed? So 80 Newton is absorbed by this isolator. So force absorbed, this is equal to 80 Newton. Then force transmitted, this is equal to 20 Newton. Okay. So for this case, the transmissibility, if you find out the force transmitted upon the external force, this is equal to 20 upon 100. Okay, so this will be 0.2 and this is nothing but the 20%. Okay, so only 20% force is transmitted to the foundation. So this is called as a transmissibility. So it is represented as a TR. Okay, so what is the isolation? So isolation provided by this isolator is nothing but 1 minus transmissibility. That means 80% is absorbed. So this is called as isolation. So isolation, this is equal to 1 minus transmissibility. So transmissibility is 0.2 for this case. So it is 1 minus 0.2, that is equal to 0.8, and this is nothing but 80%. Okay, or in terms of Newton, we can directly say 80 Newton is the isolation. So you should remember this equation. The isolation is equal to 1 minus transmissibility, or a transmissibility is equal to 1 minus isolation. Okay. Okay, so this example is just to explain the concept of isolation and the transmissibility. Now refer the actual problem. So in this problem, what is given? The aircraft radio is mounted on the engine, and we want to isolate that radio from its engine vibration. Okay. So this is the schematic diagram. Suppose this is the engine and this is the radio. Okay, so this radio is to be isolated from the engine vibration. So this engine vibration, it is vibrating between this RPMs 1600, 2200. And therefore we will mount one isolator. So this is a schematic diagram. Okay. So what is given, what is required? So what should be the static deflection? Of isolators so that the isolation is 85%. Okay. So the static deflection is nothing but this stiffness. Okay. So indirectly in the question, stiffness is asked. So static deflection is represented as a delta. So if you find out the static deflection for a particular isolator or particular spring, that means indirectly we find out the stiffness of that spring. Okay. So in the problem, static deflection is asked and isolation is given 85%. So we will use the formula for transmissibility because we don't have the direct formula for isolation. Okay. So from this isolation, we will find out the transmissibility, that is a TR. This is equal to 1 minus isolation. Okay. So it is 1 minus 85% means 0.85. So transmissibility is equal to 0.15. Okay. or this is 15%. So now use the formula for transmissibility. So transmissibility is equal to okay. So here transmissibility, it is known that is equal to 0.15. Okay. Zeta is not given in the problem. Okay. So if the zeta is not given in the statement, then directly take the value of zeta as a 0. Okay. So it is a undamped isolator. Okay. Now R value, this is a frequency ratio, omega upon omega n. Okay. Now there are two frequency ratios in the given problem. One is for 1600 and second for 2200. Okay. So first calculate the omega 1. So omega 1 here, it is a 167.55. Just take 2 pi n, that is n1 upon 60, and omega 2 value 2 pi into n2 upon 60. So this is 230.38. Okay. So when omega 1 is the external frequency, we will have the ratio R1. This is equal to omega 1 upon omega n. Okay. And for omega 2, we will have the second frequency ratio, that is omega 2 upon omega n. For both the cases, we will have the same natural frequency because we are using the same isolator. Okay. We are not changing the spring. For the given isolator, there is no damper. Okay. So for the same spring, we will have the same natural frequency because radio mass, it will remain same. So as we are changing the omega 1 and omega 2, therefore R1 and R2 will change. Okay. And from these two values, we have to choose the best value. Okay. That will give the 85% of isolation. So by using this formula, first find out the ratio R. Okay. So just put the value of transmissibility as a 0.15. Okay. This is equal to zeta is 0. So this complete square root, it will become 1 plus 0. And square root of 1, it will become 1 upon. In this square root, zeta is 0. So this complete value is 0. Okay. This 1 minus r square bracket square and the square root. So it will become 1 minus r square, just 1 minus r square. Okay. So instead of this 1 minus r square, you can write this equation as a r square minus 1. Okay. So meaning will be same. So I will write here r square minus 1. Okay. And now find out the r square value. So this is r square minus 1. This is equal to 1 upon 0.15. Okay. Take this minus 1 on the right hand side. So therefore, r square is equal to 1 plus 1 upon 0.15. Okay. So r square, this value is equal to, this is 7.66. And r is equal to, take the square root. So it is 2.76. So this is the r value. So that the transmissibility, it will be 0.15, or isolation, it will be 0.85 or 85% isolation. So this is the limiting value for the frequency ratio. Okay. Now we have to substitute r as a r1 and calculate the omega n, and then substitute r as a r2, calculate the omega n. So we have got R as a 2.76. Then we have the first frequency ratio R1. This is equal to omega 1 upon omega n, and R2 is equal to omega 2 upon omega n. Okay. So when R is equal to R1, so this is 2.76, this is equal to omega 1 value is 167.55 upon this omega n. So for the omega n, we have the formula 1 is square root k upon m. And second formula in terms of static deflection. So you have already studied this in the module 3, basic concepts of vibration. This is G, that is 9.81 upon static deflection delta. Okay. So I will write directly here square root G upon static deflection as a delta 1. Okay. And then calculate the value of delta 1. Now take R as R2. So R is 2.76 and R2 value is omega 2 upon omega n. So omega 2 is 230.38 and omega n, this value, this is equal to G, that is 9.81 upon delta 2. Okay. So calculate delta 1 and delta 2.